So, as I'm sure most of you have seen, the new Nintendo console is looking likely to be released in 2024. What will this mean for Fire Emblem? The chances are now there will not be another Fire Emblem game on the Nintendo Switch. I'd imagine that the next game, whatever that may be, Genealogy maybe, will be an early release on the new Nintendo console. It could be released on both consoles, but I think that's very unlikely as it's something Nintendo has rarely done in the past. And realistically, I'd like to see the new Fire Emblem game take advantage of Nintendo's new hardware, so I'd prefer if it was just on the new console and not the Switch. I'd also definitely like to make a video on what new features will be in the next Fire Emblem game, like new game mechanics or how you'll work in like a kind of camp place like the Somniel or Garreg Mach Monastery and how that will develop and how the supports might develop, etc. And of course we see different things if there's a Genealogy remake with a very interesting marriage and children system, and I'd love to theorise how that will work out. So when will the game actually be released and what will it be? What will it be is hard to say. I still think it's going to be Genealogy remake. There could be a whole new game, but I think the community kind of has an inkling that it will be Genealogy. I have made a video previously on this, and you can see it in the top corner right now. To try and work out when the new Fire Emblem game will be released on the new Nintendo console, I thought the best way of approximately working this out would be to look at all of the previous Fire Emblem games and how long after their console's release date that they were released. So, the Famicom was released in 1983 and Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon was released in April 1990, so a long time after that. Gaiden was released on the Famicom as well in 1992, so that's 9 years after the Famicom's release. Then the next Fire Emblem game was Mystery of the Emblem, which was released in 1994, and the Super Famicom that it was released on was released in 1990, but that was November as opposed to Fire Emblem's January, so around 3 years after the console was put out there. Genealogy of the Holy War was released in May of 1996 on the Super Famicom, so still going 6 years after the release, about 5.5 years. Thracia was released on the Super Famicom 2, and that was in September of 1999, so a long time after the release of the console. Now for the GBA games, the Game Boy Advanced was released in March of 2001. The first Fire Emblem game was The Binding Blade in March 2002, so a year after the console released. Blazing Blade came out in April 2003, so a year after that. So 2 years after the GBA was released, and then Sacred Stones in October 2004, so another year for that one. Next we have the GameCube, which was released in November 2001, and the first Fire Emblem game on the GameCube was Path of Radiance in 2005, April, so a long time after that, and then the Wii was released November 2006, with Radiant Dawn coming only a few months after release in February 2007. So Radiant Dawn not that long after the console came out. The Nintendo DS released in 2004 November, and the first game on it was Shadow Dragon in 2008 August, so 4 years after release, and the new Mystery of the Emblem in 2010 July, so 6 years after. So those were both a long time after too. Then we have the 3DS, which released in February 2011. The first Fire Emblem game on there was Awakening in April 2012, so over a year. Then Fates 3 years after that in June 2015. And then after that was Echoes in April 2017, so a long time after 3DS's release, 6 years. Finally we have the Nintendo Switch, which released in March 2017. The first Fire Emblem game on there was of course Three Houses, 2 years after release in July 2019, and then Engage in January 2023. So as you can see, bar Radiant Dawn, there were almost no Fire Emblem games released near the start of the Nintendo console's lifetime. However, I do believe that Nintendo has gained more confidence in the Fire Emblem series after Three Houses, and may be happy to release a Fire Emblem game near the start of their new console. It does line up in terms of production, so hopefully the new Fire Emblem game won't be too long after. I'm going to personally estimate around 6 to 9 months, because there might be other games they prefer to put as starting games for the console. Fire Emblem is probably not the most likely. But I'd say probably for me 6 to 9 months after the new console's release. Though if we look at the past, it could be much longer than that. I'm hopeful, but not too much. Thank you all for watching. I will keep you guys updated with any important Fire Emblem news when there is anything, because that hasn't obviously been in a while. When a new game's announced or there's any leaks or whatever, I'll be sure to inform you all rapidly, so stay tuned for that. Otherwise, enjoy the tournament polls and hopefully some more videos if I think there's anything important. Ciao for now, hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye.